Are we on?
Yes.
Okay, ready to go. Welcome to the Business and Economic Development Committee. It's Wednesday, April 17th. We are at about 5:29. Voting members of this committee tonight would be Councilor Fish, Councilor Leonard, Councilor Schaefer, and Councilor Tremble. I'm Councilor Hawes, so I'll be chairing this event. And our first item is the staff check-ins. Would you take?
So I'll start off with the short-term rental update. Basically, we're just working on getting the platform up and running. We're really close to getting that finished. Just scheduled a demo with the company for Monday. So as soon as we know when it's going to be good to go live, we'll be sending out letters to all the known operators in the city. And then we'll be posting on Facebook and on the short-term rental website on the city's page with the official date and instructions and everything for how that's going to happen. So hoping to get that all finished up soon. And the anticipated go live date as of now is May 3rd. That could change, but that's what we're shooting for. So that's all I have on that.
Any questions, comments? Okay.
And then on the quarterly housing update, just an update on the numbers. As far as approved planning board projects, we haven't had any new planning board projects come in related to housing in the past 3 months. So there's no update on that. There were 8 building permits related to housing in the past quarter. It's low, but it's also the slow season for code enforcement, so it's to be expected. But we'll hopefully start seeing that number ramp up soon as spring gets started. So
Thank you for tracking them.
Yeah.
It's helpful.
And then for the CDBG action plan update, Robin will be giving that.
Hello.
So I just wanted to update the committee on the development of our CDBG action plan. I'm really hoping that it looks different this year. We've been working really hard. So I'm just updating you all that beginning next week, we're going to start the 30-day public comment period. And one thing that we are also trying to do this year is give a really good snapshot view for folks who might not have time or want to be able to read the entire plan. So we're going to have a really interesting graphic that I did put in the packet this week. It's going to be in the lobby of City Hall. You'll be able to get a really great executive summary of the plan, and you'll actually be able to snap a QR code with your phone and you'll be able to see the plan or, look at it online. It'll be available. During that 30-day public comment period, we're also going to have a workshop for folks that want to talk about the plan in real time, and we'll present it in a workshop format that will also be virtual. We will advertise the workshop online and on social media and with the requisite public notice in the paper so that folks can attend. So we're going to have the plan available for 30 days from April 22nd to May 22nd, and then we'll be bringing it back to the City Council. When I do any public comment or conversation that we've had in the meantime, we'll make sure that we'll have its own chapter, and hopefully there will be some. That's what we're hoping. So yes, and so then you'll have it to approve at the end of June. We'll send that off to HUD and hopefully get their approval. So thank you.
Any questions? Robin?
Comment that the graphic looks great.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Snazzy.
much. Actually, our new CD analyst, Elizabeth, who joined us from the City of Ellsworth, really took to that and helped create that. So we have some great staff.
Very nice.
And then the next item will also be Robin on the annual TIF reports.
Yes. So this is the time of year that we need to submit our TIF reports to the state. We need to certify that the property is being used in the manner that is allowable under the affordable housing TIF. And so we have 3 TIFs that we're submitting reports for. I believe all 3 of those were included in your packet. And so what we're looking for today is for the approval so that we can submit those by the end of the month.
I move staff recommendation. A second.
It's been moved and seconded. If there's no objection, they can file their reports.
All right, wonderful. Thank you.
And for the next item on the non-conforming section, we'll have Dave from legal present that.
Hello. There is a proposed change to the ordinance regarding expansion of legal nonconformities. The legal and CNED and code enforcement departments met recently to discuss limiting the expansion of legal nonconformities to residential uses only. The ordinance had been amended not long ago to allow expansions of nonconforming uses. Nonconforming uses are legal uses that are nonconforming to the requirements of our land use code. And there are loopholes, but not loopholes caused by the person or the business, but caused because the law changed after that use was in place. And so we're recommending that we clean up that recently changed ordinance to allow for expansion of residential uses, legal nonconforming uses, but not business or industrial nonconforming uses, to avoid unintended consequences that may result from that. The expansion of residential uses is in line more with the council's primary goal of, making housing easy, more accessible. And so allowing a nonconforming use to expand in the residential context might involve a landowner being able to bring units into compliance with the code. And just because they're legally nonconforming, we wanted to make it easier for the homeowners and unit owners, residential unit owners to do that. But we wanted to limit it so that business uses and industrial uses expanding nonconformities, the nonconformities can continue in that commercial setting under the proposed ordinance change, but wouldn't be expanded. So, yes.
Would an example of that be a 2-unit or 3-unit, and it's been operating maybe on the record, it's zoned as just a 2-unit, but it's operating as a 3-unit, or they want to operate as a 3-unit? I guess I'm looking for a specific example of, because I know in the real estate world, this is a huge problem.
Right.
When we list a property and they say it's a 3-unit, but we check the tax records and the zoning records, and in fact, it's not.
It does not include expansion of additional residential dwelling units. That was in the old ordinance. That
Yes.
wouldn't change.
So could you give me an example of exactly how this might apply?
In the residential setting, or
Yes.
The question- I wish Ann were here because she'd probably be able to give better examples. Anya, can you give some examples of in the residential setting?
So in the residential setting, in single family, for example, this applies if somebody wants to say expand, put a porch on the back of their house. And maybe they're non-conforming with regard to the front setback. This would allow them to expand in the back. But as far as multifamily goes, if somebody had, say, a legally non-conforming 2-unit, where the 2-unit was there before all of our zoning changed, they're allowed to be there. But maybe they want to expand the second unit, not necessarily add new units, but just expand the second unit. Or maybe there's like a code requirement they need to meet, and this can help in those situations like that. So,
Okay, thank you.
yeah.
So it's not expanding for use of like family units, but physical expansion perhaps.
Physical
Yeah,
expansion,
not the number of units. Yeah.
right?
Thank you.
Would it possibly allow for a garage to be built that is closer than the 10 feet or whatever it is that you can have to your neighbor? Is it something like that as well?
So it couldn't, they would have to meet the setbacks to the extent, feasible. So like if you don't already have a garage on the property, you couldn't then put one there in the setback and violate the setback. It would apply more so if, say, you had a garage there and maybe it didn't meet one of the setbacks, you could expand on the other side. You can't make the nonconformity worse. Does that make sense?
And just to be clear, this proposed change doesn't affect the residential part of the ordinance. It only says that you can't expand the legal nonconformities in the commercial and industrial setting.
Right, it's only focusing on commercial. The residential part is gonna basically be the same as what it was before. We're just taking off the commercial and industrial part of that, so.
Council Trumbull?
So does it get a review where they can automatically expand if they're not conforming? Do they have to go through a planning board or any
They would have to
Yes.
go to code enforcement.
code?
Yeah.
officer?
Yeah,
No, I don't have a problem. My only question is actually on what we're taking away. I can think there might be some instances where there'd be a commercial zone that maybe they need to add more parking. Maybe they gotta go back 10 feet and it's in an area where it wouldn't be a big deal. But with this, is there a way to override it, or we would have to say, no, you can't do it? I think that I'd like to see a way where somebody, if they were at extenuating circumstances, would try to work with somebody that made sense.
Well, there are certain provisions in a code that can be appealed to the Board of Appeals to get a variance.
Financial hardships. And is that-
Yes, and there are other
Yeah.
examples of
Even
that.
if it's not conforming, it could still deal under those conditions.
Well, I'd have to
Okay.
look at the specific situation, but that's one of the things that you can go to the Board of Appeals for, are variances.
Any other questions? Comments? They do want, they're recommending passage of this, correct?
Yes.
I move staff recommendation.
Second.
Seeing no objections, that will have passed.
Okay. Thank you.
so the next item is executive session.
We do have an executive session. I just wanted to, you do have some upcoming items listed and the dates. That's approximate, right, on the bottom? For things coming up next.
That's approximate, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yes, approximate, yep.
All right, well, thank you for filling in for Ann. We are going to, need to go into executive session at this time. When we return, infrastructure will be ready to roll. So,
I move we go into executive session 1 MRSA 456C, disposition of real property or economic development.